And welcome to today's event. We are excited. You've now met some of us from the office, and the person that you probably don't know is, of course, Derek, who is from Holland America. He's our business management developer. BDM is what they like to call him. And we're actually thrilled. He's new to the position. And actually, Derek's background, he grew up in a family that loved to travel. They actually were originally in the military, and then his parents loved cruising. And so he was exposed at a young age at cruising. And then he went to Johnson & Wales, and he ended up actually in the tourism industry and working in the cruise line industry. So Derek, welcome. We're thrilled to have you join us.
Perfect. Thank you, Brett and Friendship Tours, and good evening to everyone joining us today. Thank you for taking the time to learn about your hopefully next trip with us.
And so with that, of course, Donna, the head of our ship shop, you got to say that nice and slow.
Yeah.
So Donna actually started way back 35 years ago. I think she started at 4, but she's celebrating a really big anniversary year. And what makes that so unique is the ship shop actually didn't even exist when she first started working for Friendship Tours. We saw a growing industry, and poor Donna, she had to go out and do cruises. So she was told, you must go cruise so you can learn it. And today she's actually a master cruise counselor, one of the few in Connecticut, and we are thrilled to be able to leverage that. Barbara also is in the ship shop and has her accreditation, and of course, Heidi as well. So that's kind of our team that works behind the scenes to plan all of these great adventures. So since we saw everybody last, cruising has gone through a lot. And really the question that you might be asking yourself is, are you ready to start cruising again? And I think to answer that question, sometimes you need a little bit of what's been happening and what's been going on. Prior to the call, we were talking a little bit. The ship shop has actually been putting people on ships almost from the beginning. And Donna, do you remember when cruising started back up?
Yeah, so pretty much last summer, which is kind of nice to be able to say, like, it's been quite a while now that cruises have been going. And I think it's kind of interesting because we've gotten calls from people and they're like, are cruise ships sailing? And we're like, yes, they are. And unfortunately, you only hear about the crazy, weird incidences on cruise ships right now, but there are many, many successful sailings happening, as we speak. We just had a group come off a Caribbean cruise out of New Jersey, 0 COVID cases on a 2,000 passenger Royal Caribbean ship. They had an amazing time, got out of this frigid temperatures and had a ball. And with all the protocols that they went through, which was, just masking indoors, they really felt very inconvenient, very little bit of inconvenience, and they loved it. So it was nice.
Excellent. And to be honest, the thing about cruising right now is you're able to go out on ships. So in June, Heidi and I were on one of the other lines that they actually started in Bermuda. And what was interesting is they actually tested us daily. They have their own PCR testing on board, and Bermuda had its rules and all that. And when we got to Bermuda, it was as though we were the only people there. If anyone knows Tobacco Bay, you've seen it on some of our other State of the Seas when we talked about that. But normally it's wall-to-wall people, and there's almost nobody in our pictures. And so cruising right now is unique in that it's one of the best times ever if you're ready to go. And what do I mean by that? So some of the things people don't realize is in order to go out on these ships, and in particular Holland America, which we're going to talk about today, it is 100% vaccination. So because people under 5 years old can't be vaccinated yet, you actually have older than 5, and everybody is required to be vaccinated. Now, when we went, they also required testing. So you needed to be tested. At that time, it was 48 hours prior to. And then while we were on, as Donna said, there were, when we were not actively drinking or eating, we did wear masks. Now, this was at basically the beginnings and the heights of when Omicron happened. So the world is changing very, very quickly. And when people say, oh, I don't know if being on a ship would be safe, I always ask them, when you go to the grocery store, is everybody vaccinated? Is everybody tested within the last 48 hours? I bet that that's not the case. So that has kind of been why the rates, in fact, some of the cruise lines that have even children actually allowed, their numbers for infection just came out and they're below 0.2%. If you think about Connecticut during this last basically 2 months, we've been over 10%, not point, but 10%. So we thought we would share a little of our experience. And this is just recently, so this was in December. We were in the Southern Caribbean. We were actually aboard the Nieuw Statendam, which is what we're going to talk about today. And this is on the private island, which we absolutely had a wonderful time. There's a picture of us doing some lifeboat drill stuff. There's some really fun ones. This is a sail away, Donna, or Heidi, if you guys want to talk about some of these, I'm going to just advance.
Yeah, so this was awesome. This was our sail away in Fort Lauderdale, and it was just a beautiful day. And it was just like, oh, I'm not sure what that is. I think we have a little, not sure who that is. Sorry, are we good? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so yeah, we had a great sail away and we were just so happy to be back on board. It was a great feeling. It really was. It was, you can see there was Brett and Heidi and a couple of other clients of ours that were out at the back of the ship. It was really nice. Oh, Brett, I can't hear you. There we go. And that's Eve and Dennis. We were in Half Moon Key, which is their private island. That was such a beautiful day again. So we all just kind of spread out on the beach, socially distanced, and enjoyed that awesome sunshine. We tendered in from the ship. She's back there. She's absolutely gorgeous. And you could see the nice clear water. And there's a couple of other shots from when we were sailing. You can see there was just very few people on board. So we're a ship that holds 4,000. I think we were at 1,700. And it was very nice. It was very nice to be that. Yeah, that was one of my favorite shots there. I sat on that bench for the longest time, just taking in the view.
Ooh, I think somebody's unmuting themselves. So
yeah.
Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about Holland America in particular. So premium cruise line dedicated to explorers, foodies, music lovers who want perfect sized ships, not real crowded, filled with one-of-a-kind experiences. And that is really important to know. What you are is important, and knowing what you aren't. So what you aren't going to get is climbing walls, wave machines, right, Derek? Any of those kind of things. What you're going to get is food, wonderful food experiences, music. So you're going to see today Music Walk, which is, there's no other cruise line that has anything quite like this. Renowned service has always been part of Holland America, and that certainly was the case. And of course, spacious, fully sized ships that are designed exactly the way that you want them. And we're thrilled to be able to share a little bit of what this experience on Holland America is like.
An inevitable outcome of travel. The power that it has is that it changes us in positive and important ways. Travel has the potential to change the world. connect with our guests, and we help make connections with and across the world. And it's one of the things that I think makes Holland America Line so very special.
And so that really gives you a good feel of what it is all about. And it really is about connections and traveling with people. And we like to say friendship through travel. And this vessel is an amazing way to do it. So I know Donna was talking about the amount of people. We were at about 1,700 on the ship. It actually holds 2,666 people. It was first designed in 2018, and it's part of the Pinnacle class. So one of the excursions or tours we're actually going to talk about is our September Escorted Newfoundland and Canada discovery. But before we get to that, we really want to talk about this ship and the style itself. So let's do that with going around the ship a little bit to give you a feel. This ship is actually designed with musical instruments at its core. So as you walk up, the artwork, all the different pieces on there actually relate back to music, be it even like modern art. So they've got some really neat things. I know we all know what a cassette is, but a lot of people might not. And there's actually art that looks like a audio cassette. There's ones with earphones and all kinds of things. So it's really fun to see different people's experiences. This is the atrium, the center of the ship. So in these 3 floors that are right here, that you can see the front desk, you can see some of the different wonderful food options and the shops from this area. And then of course, a little bit more of the public area. And Derek, I know dining is one of the things that really is a huge part of Holland America and world-renowned culinary council. So this is actually made up of a couple different experts. So not only Rudy, they've got people from the Pacific Northwest, from the French style, Italian style, all that make up the wonderful restaurants. And they also then have the specialty restaurants as well. And some of those food options, you've got your fine dining. So of course the dining room, you've got specialty restaurants like Pinnacle Grill, Canaletto, Nomi Sushi, and my favorite, Tamarind, one of the best Asian restaurants and one of the best meals I've ever had anywhere at sea. And Club Orange and all kinds of wonderful options. So in addition to that, you also have casual dining. So Lido Market, and we'll show some pictures of this. The buffets, to kind of go over how they're working. You don't actually touch any of the food. It's all actually, you pick it out and they put it right on your plate. So that's kind of how they're doing that. The drive-in, so at the pool where they have wonderful movies actually that were played. We watched Dirty Dancing one day. Everyone had drinks. We were in the pool. And if you're hungry, they have options. And I think one of the best burgers I've ever had at sea is actually through drive-in. So this is a grill that's right there. Down on that main area, the coffee bar. So of course, in Dutch and in the Netherlands, coffee shops are really big, and they have one of the greatest coffee shops right on the 3rd floor, and that's Grand Dutch Cafe. If you love gelato, they've got gelato there as well. Expeditions Cafe. So at the top of the ship is a whole area that's dedicated to board games, puzzles, but also the explorations staff. So like all the shore excursions and things, that's called EXC, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But you can go up and learn about where you're going and the experiences when you get to the different ports, plus 24-hour, 7-day in-room dining. So food is obviously important, and the venues are as well. This is the lovely 2-level dining room. Here they have early and late sitting, as well as an anytime dining that you actually can arrive between 5 and 8:30. So it's really one of my favorite things. But if you like having your traditional set table and set time, you can definitely do that. The Pinnacle Grill. So this is one of our favorite appetizers. This is actually their clothesline bacon. See how it looks like it's on a clothesline? It's candied. Those are pickles underneath it. It sounds funny, but it is to die for. And of course, Donna, I know you guys had a lot of fun at Pinnacle Grill, and this is a picture. Do you want to describe some of who's with you and your
Yeah, so my
experience?
mom is right across from me. I'm kind of all the way to the back. My mom is across from me. My husband's to my left. And then we had some other family members on there that were from like my mom's boyfriend and his family. So that was actually the first night of the cruise. We actually chose to go to the Pinnacle Grill the first night, and we could see the beautiful Centrum right there out of the big glass windows. It was probably one of the best meals we had all week, and we were like, well, when can we go back? And it's just hard to choose from all the different restaurants, but we made it back another night. And then, of course, we enjoyed the main dining room many of the nights as well.
And so on board the ship, you have the main dining room that all your in-room dining, all included, the drive-through up by the pool included, but there are some specialty restaurants. So this would be an example of one which would cost extra. Canaletto would be the Italian. What I love about Canaletto is actually up on part of where the Lido Market is. So you actually have wonderful views of outside from up at the top of the ship. Lido Market, this is also included, and you can get a feel. It is really beautifully laid out. And this is in the old days what you would call the buffet. But the Lido Market is, they literally make things like steaks for you to order, temperatures that you love. It's a fantastic experience. And if you wanted not dress up, because on the ship, you have the ability to go to the dining rooms without putting on a jacket or any of that. So don't worry, none of that anymore. But at the Lido Market, every night they do a informal dinner. So maybe you don't want to sit down and do an hour and a half meal. You want to go up and be able to experience the movies at night, or like while we were there, there was Monday Night Football. I wanted to see that up by the pool. So you might choose to go to the buffet or the Lido Market, and that is actually an option on any of those nights. So in addition to that, you have things like Grand Dutch Cafe. So this has not only food, coffees, wonderful Belgian beer, if you like Blue Moon, which of course is our version of it. They've got all kinds of different bars and alcohols that you can do with happy hour. And these are some examples. So there's a picture after this is located on the same deck where the walking track. This on Holland America, one of the things I love is that they have a true promenade. So the hardwood, all the way around, you can actually circle the entire ship. And on this particular one, if you went around just around 3 times, that was equal to 1 mile. So it gives you an idea of the size, not too big. But I had just finished, so I was coming in for a water, so a mineral water and a beer. Nothing wrong with that. And then at the other picture at the far end is up at the Explorers Cafe, where also is a coffee bar. So some of the nice areas. They have up by the pool area on the upper deck, and this pool is fully enclosed as well as an outdoor one, but they have New York pizza, deli, and so here you can get anything from wonderful types of pizza to a true deli sandwich, corned beef, or any of the types of meats and things that you would want, salads, and these would be all different options that you have. In addition, this is the drive-in that we were talking about, and this was some of the fun that we were having. This is up by the pool. Gelato we talked about. So lots and lots of great options. So food, they have you covered. The other thing that is wonderful, like no other cruise line, I believe the best entertainment at night is Onboard Holland America because of the Music Walk. So Music Walk is one whole level of the ship, and it has different parts. So in one part of it is Lincoln Center stage. These are Lincoln Center professional players that actually come and they perform almost daily. And it's one of the most popular spots. The seats, what's nice on this one is on some of the ships, the area, almost there are more people than can fit in. This is a beautiful 2-deck venue and plenty of places to go and see them. I know Roman and Teresa are on board. They were with us in Australia, New Zealand, and never missed a performance of Lincoln Center. And it is absolutely amazing performers, and they do different classical music from different genres and different performers and composers. Billboards on board. That's actually like a battling piano. So all the great piano music that you love. And this is a little bit of actually a picture that I took from one of the nights. So really, really fun. In addition, on that same area is BB King's Blues Club. And so this is everything from blues to Motown, but this is where the dancers come out. People were on that dance floor, and actually Heidi's cousin Rick was with us. He's an enormous music lover. He never missed a night. He would close the place down. So really, really fun. And in between of sets, the other venues are up and going. So here's an example of what the venue it looks like, and you can see the two stories. And this is where Lincoln Center also performs. So they might start off the night, and then the BB King players would come in. And then later on, they actually have Rolling Stone. And this is, you know, actually real rock and roll music. So everything from the late 50s all the way to the 90s. And these guys were just some of the most talented performers. They even did an acoustic night. So really, really fun. And at the very end of that whole music walk is the world stage. So this is the theater, and this is all the lower area. There's also seats that go up behind this, and they use this for not only their full production shows, but they also have dance performances. So this is Step One Dance Company, and then they also use it for enrichment. So this is an example of where the captain actually did a whole talk on what the ship, how they make it run, how much power it uses, how many bottles of water we go through. And he literally took question and answer from everybody. So they were able to do performances in this area that not only are they lectures. So one of them, we were down in the Caribbean, so they did all the Caribbean's sports. So things from cricket to, of course, baseball to rugby, and everything in between of what the islands, all the different islands did. They do BBC Earth, where they actually have the Lincoln Center performers come in and do the music to full BBC Earth productions. So entertainment, education, and experience is a huge part of what Holland America is about. The activities are engaging, they know who the audience is, and while we're not at ports or while we're at sea days, or even when you are, there's still events going on. So tons of things for you to engage with: lectures, wine tastings, whiskey tastings, spa treatments, swimming. You can be in the casino, you can relax and unwind, and it is absolutely fantastic. So some of these things, we were talking about the pools. You can see they have a cover for the middle pool, and see how it's 2 levels. You also look out. You'll notice that a lot of the beautiful chairs by the pool that are near the pool face in, but if you look by the ones by the windows, they're facing the other way. And this ship was designed with the idea of bringing the ocean and the surroundings within, so that you really feel like you are on the water and you're enjoying the places that you're going to. So some other parts of the venue, this was actually on the upper right hand is me watching Monday Night Football. So those are big beds and wonderful lounge areas that you can sit at. And these are the pictures that I was taking that day. The movie screen at the pool, and that's where they would do movies during the day.
Maybe
At
Donna
night
wants to speak about the movies too.
Oh, Donna, do you want to talk about the movies?
Like watching, Donna and I both
Oh.
sat in watching movies, drinking champagne in the pool.
Yes, so like very like last sea day, we couldn't wait till the 2:00 movie so that we could all be in the pool watching a movie and sipping champagne at the same time. It was really awesome. But the movies by the pool were so much fun because everybody got involved and everybody was watching and clapping and enjoying, you know, what they were saying, that it just really made for a fun atmosphere. And then of course, who doesn't want to watch like a football game on a screen that big, you know? So they'd put, you know, blankets out there if it was a little chilly, or they'd have popcorn and all kinds of stuff. It was really, really nice, really well done. And, you know, Derek's been posting some things in the chat. So for those of you that have your chat up, he's been posting things about like some little facts as we've been going, and they're very interesting, actually. That theater is quite impressive that it does not have one pole, one obstruction. Every seat in the house is fantastic. So that's one of the things that he had said there. And I want to just reiterate the music walk. I've been cruising for 35 years, and I've never seen nightly entertainment as wide ranged as on Holland America. And I never thought I would say that about Holland America ever. There used to be the cruise line that they would say, oh, the carpets rolled up at like 9 o'clock, you know, and but not anymore. This is completely different. And you could alternate from each of those lounges with walking just a very short distance and enjoy a variety of music at any different time. So that's what I was saying about the twist in entertainment, is that's what I meant. It really is just different than a lot of other lines.
And in the theater, the dancers would incorporate that whole LED screens behind them. That would be part of the act. Or they could look, they're like they're running over a cliff because of the screens around them were displaying this amazing scenery. And it was all kind of linked in with their choreography. Really cool.
They've done a wonderful job of thinking about the design of the ship, including if you've ever been on a ship where there's tons of people all fighting for the chairs. As you can see, there are multiple pools, lots and lots of places to be able to sit and enjoy the sun. And even at night, these areas are still active and there's things going on. The spa is world-renowned spa. So this is Greenhouse Spa and the Hydro Pool. So there's a little something here for everybody. If you want to work out, I know people say I'm on vacation, but for some people that's really important. This is a world-class gym and fitness center, and of course the casino. And then in addition to that, this is that Explorer Central, what they call EXC. And this is actually where all of the staff for the shore excursions, they're up there. Those little things in the pictures there are actually touch screens, and you can learn. There's the library, there's games. It's one of the best views on the ship. So lots and lots of things up here. And these are some of the pictures that I took while we were there and Heidi took. So you can see all the way out into the ocean, and lots of information for those that like to know what direction, what speed are we going, where are we going. You can pull up in your stateroom all of that right on your TV and see a lot of that information. But also up here, they've got an edition of that. So really fun place to be. So one of the trips that we want to talk about is on this beautiful ship, and it's going to be, of course, the Escorted Newfoundland and Canada Discovery. And I put together a short video of this itinerary, and I think it's going to answer a lot of the questions. We had people asking about where it goes, what it does. What makes this one so unique is that we actually incorporate the transportation. So it starts from Quebec. We bring you up early. You stay over in a hotel one night. Then the next day you do a city tour, and you actually board the ship, and you're still in Quebec for one whole more day, evening. And then you sail on basically what is day 3. And so let's take a look at what this is all about. Cruise features Canada and New England, with stops in exciting and visually stunning ports along the way. It will begin with you boarding from a local departure point led by Friendship Tours escorts. We travel to City of Quebec for a one-night stay. After you check into your hotel, we are off to a welcome dinner. Day 2 starts with a city-led tour by our Canadian local expert before boarding the Nieuw Statendam for the rest of our 12-day adventure. Holland America's Nieuw Statendam is the second Pinnacle class ship. Her design draws inspiration from the elegant curves of musical instruments. When not relaxing in your stateroom, you will have a multitude of innovative dining and entertainment options, highlighted by Holland America's one-of-a-kind music walk, as well as our visually stunning 2-level world stage.
At Holland America Line, we believe the journey of a lifetime begins with the details. We're taking a proud tradition of nearly 145 years of sailing and adding an eye to the future. Introducing Nieuw Statendam, Holland America Line's newest Pinnacle-class ship.
Every detail, from specialty curated works of art to fabric on the chairs in the dining room, Nieuw Statendam has everything our guests have come to love and expect from Holland America Line. Rudy's Seldom-Air, the Grand Dutch Cafe, Pinnacle Grill, B.B. King's Blues Club, Lincoln Center Stage.
The guest will experience the same level of sophistication, but we have enhanced the Nieuw Statendam to make this ship unique.
In the Pinnacle Suite, the lighting fixtures and the furniture styles are more modern and contemporary.
For the first time in the history of Holland America Line, we are going to offer alfresco dining in Tamarant.
We've enlarged the Neptune Lounge to provide more seating.
We created some windows in there, which makes the space much more open. Our crew makes the ship unique. Also on this Nieuw Statendam, providing the best service that we can offer.
One of the things that's really most powerful about Holland America Line is the way we deliver destinations to our guests. Nieuw Statendam will include Exploration Central, an indispensable travel resource for our guests to learn about and engage with their destinations. When you cruise on the Nieuw Statendam, you're enriching yourself and making the world a better place.
Nieuw Statendam, our newest Pinnacle-class ship, joining Holland America Line in December 2018.
This tour features fully escorted. Our professional tour managers will be available throughout the tour. No flying, round-trip transportation including motor coach to Quebec and home from Boston. One-night hotel in Quebec, welcome dinner, city tour, and 10-night cruise. Quebec is older than Jamestown, founded before the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock, and its historic district is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You will have 2 nights to enjoy Quebec's old world feel. One night on land at the Quebec Hilton, the second night aboard our Holland America ship.
After traveling up the St. Lawrence River, arrive in Baie-Comeau, or Como Bay. Located on the shores of the St. Lawrence River, the city of Baie-Comeau is surrounded by some of the most beautiful natural landscape in Quebec. In addition to the numerous parks and forests surrounding the city, the mountains to the north offer scenic hiking opportunities for adventurous travelers. The city itself was designed with many parks and green spaces connected by bike paths. Visitors walking along the seafront after a day of hiking may see the local harbor seals as well as various migratory birds. Located on the north shore of Quebec's St. Lawrence River, Havre-Saint-Pierre offers panoramic views and miles of sandy beaches. It is the gateway to the Mingan Archipelago National Park Reserve, home to abundant wildlife and limestone monoliths sculpted over the millennia by the elements. Corner Brook, a small but bustling city, is on Newfoundland's west coast. Captain Cook initially mapped this area known as the Bay of Islands in 1767, and like many other Newfoundland settlements, Corner Brook started out as a fishing village. In the city's downtown core, West Street and Broadway are the center of action, thanks to numerous pubs, shops, and restaurants. The local university has renowned fine arts and drama programs, so you're never too far from entertainment. Corner Brook also has an impressive amount of green space. You're always within walking distance of a park or trail. Near the northern tip of Newfoundland's Great Northern Peninsula, tiny St. Anthony, population 2,418, predates even the famed navigator and explorer Jacques Cartier. Though he gave the town its name, it was already a seasonal camp used by French and Basque fishermen when he arrived in 1534. St. Anthony's fortunes have long been tied to the sea. Those fishermen were followed by whalers, and now tourism has become increasingly important, with whale-watching expeditions among the principal draws. For many travelers, St. Anthony is the gateway to one of North America's most intriguing archaeological sites. While Christopher Columbus is popularly credited with being the first European to discover the New World, Viking explorers were there before him, more than 4 centuries earlier. The remains of an 11th century village at L'Anse aux Meadows
are the oldest evidence of a European settlement in North America. Today, the reconstructed sod houses at this UNESCO World Heritage Site gives a sense of the hard lives of those early settlers. Closer to London than it is to Canada's west coast, the capital of Newfoundland, St. John's, has long looked east and across the Atlantic. It is the easternmost city in North America and has its own time zone, a half-hour ahead of the rest of eastern Canada. Long before there was a permanent town, established around 1630, British fishermen would set up camp here in the summer. Although it was primarily fishing and whaling that drove the economy of St. John's for centuries, today the oil and natural gas found beneath the ocean floor is increasingly important. The rest of St. John's sits on hills around the harbor. The tallest, Signal Hill, is one of St. John's most famous sights with its panoramic views. While the city shines at a distance, it is also in the details that it charms visitors, with its houses painted in jelly bean hues and cozy restaurants and pubs that provide relief from Atlantic breezes. After a day at sea to recharge and enjoy the onboard activities, we arrive in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Located on a rocky inlet in the Atlantic Ocean, Halifax, Nova Scotia's provincial capital, is defined by its maritime geography. It's a spirited mix of world-class history and nautical-themed museums, alongside bunkers and fortresses that guarded the harbor, plus striking public art and sites, funky shops, and excellent pubs serving up folk music and good pints. Along Nova Scotia's southern shores, the city is surrounded by lush greenery and charming villages that are worth the trip from downtown. Snap photos of attractions in the charming fishing village, Peggy's Cove, with its picturesque lighthouse on rocky outcropping. Or wander the streets of Lunenburg, whose colorful old town is designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can also soak in the charms and sights of Mahone Bay, home to artist studios and a trio of steepled churches. Enjoy this city on your own or by purchasing an optional shore excursion like historic Halifax Panoramic Drive, Peggy's Cove Lighthouse and Village, Halifax Harbor Hopper, or Lobsters and Lighthouses by boat.
Located on Mount Desert Island in Maine, Bar Harbor is the quintessential New England coastal town. Our Bar Harbor cruise takes guests to this picturesque and charming town with its scenic and walkable streets lined with restaurants and boutiques. Dining on lobster or enjoying a scoop or two at one of the town's homemade ice cream shops. Boat tours explore the waters and islands that surround Bar Harbor, with opportunities to see wildlife, including whales, and lighthouses along the way. Favorite attractions for many of our guests include shore excursions to Arcadia National Park, Down East Lobster Bake, walk through Victorian Bar Harbor, ocean trail hike, Lulu Lobster Boat Ride, historic lighthouses in Arcadia by Sea. You can book these adventures prior to boarding or after attending a port talk or visiting the EXC. Along the way, our group will have the chance to get together at an exclusive Friendship Tours the Ship Shop cocktail party and attend group activities. Friendships through travel while creating memories that last a lifetime. To book or get more information, contact us by email office@friendshiptours.net or call us 860-243-1630. You can also visit our website, friendshiptours.net. We look forward to having you as part of our adventure. And so a big part of these tours, of course, is the accommodations. And so, Donna, I thought I would have you talk a little bit about booking while I shared kind of some of the rooms for them to see.
Absolutely. So like the video said, certainly give us a call. Barbara and I are in the office, Monday through Friday, and we're able to take your calls, go over the different types of cabins, staterooms, and any special things that you might require or need, any questions you might have. We'll go through insurance questions. Of course, that's on everybody's mind, in regards to travel protection. And so we'll just sit down and we'll book a cabin and the location that you're looking for. We do it all over the phone, and you can deposit with your credit card. And then we send off information on insurance, et cetera, along with your confirmation. But the one thing that we do is we thrive with our personal service. You know, we believe in, you know, we've always answered the phone when people call, and that's what Friendship Tours is. We're there for you, you know, to make that reservation over the phone. You're not dealing with an operator or having to book online. We do that personalized service.
And so they can get the information on booking, trip protection, and of course, all the pricing, as well as the different staterooms that are available through our flyers, which are on our website or can be mailed out. And this would be an example of an interior stateroom. So that means it's on technically the inside of the ship. You'll notice no windows, but this is just like any other cabin in that it has all the technology, the flat screen TV. It can be one bed, or they can be for if you're have that cabin has a double, the nightstand would be in between and the bed would come across. There's of course outside cabin or ocean view stateroom. You notice still big size that you have. Sitting area, again, this can be set up either way. And then also you would have the veranda stateroom available as well as there are suites and things available. And Donna, do you want to talk a little bit more about the booking process?
Sure. It's we like you to have your passports handy when you give us a call, because we do take your passport information to make sure that everything is valid. When you book, of course, we'll double check your vaccination status, because everybody is required to be vaccinated. So we will go over that. And we talk about how to go online to look at shore excursions. And we just take all the information right over the phone, though, and get you all set. It's very, very simple process.
So one thing that's very important to know is throughout the entire pandemic, we have never closed. Friendship Tours, not only have we kept our staff, but we've been here the whole time. So we've gone from purely virtual travel to back on the motor coaches, and even when the ships and everything are sailing, we've been there figuring out all along the way. What we know for sure is that things change, and what we know yesterday, we won't know tomorrow. But one thing I can tell you is when you're back on the ship and on the water and maybe on your veranda, and this is a picture of our veranda and our breakfast. One of the things I love to do is get room service in the morning and just sit and look at the water and watch the sunrise. But these is when you really feel like things are back to normal. So some of the great views, you can see this beautiful ship has tons of different veranda views, different styles, and it is still what you remember cruising to be. So it's a fantastic trip. This gives you the details once again, and we really appreciate everybody joining us today. It is a little bit before 6 o'clock, so we've kept within our time limit. And what I want to do is do a little question and answer. So I thought maybe we would, at this point, stop the screen share. We again, thank you so much. You can see all of our information for phone numbers, and of course, office at Friendship Tours, or all of our emails would be our first name. So mine would be Brett, B-R-E-T-T, at friendshiptours.net. Donna's would be Donna at friendshiptours.net, and so on and so forth.